Before we get to the races, on behalf of Obsidian Mountain Raceway and Team GDM, we send our deepest condolences to the family of Chance Summit, who we lost this past Veterans Day in an exhibition race. Some of the local drivers you see there had gathered at his memorial to pay their respects. Due to that tragic accident, we have added new safety features, crash barriers along the pipeline, as well as at the exit of Calamity Corner. We also added some crash barriers and safety fencing along the what is now known and named the Summit Memorial Road. And we hope that this will prevent future tragedies. And we'd just like to say, race in peace to Chance Summit. Aloha and welcome to Obsidian Mountain Raceway, home of the GryphonSoul Diecast Motorsports. This is the Euro-Mania Series Round 2. 24 European manufactured cars and 24 drivers from around the world are about to take on the Obsidian Mountain Raceway in the second of 6-round competition, all to accumulate points and be crowned the first Euro-Mania champion. Round 1, we saw a three-way tie from that round's Group 1. Some incredible racing and some devastating crashes. The drivers, some new and some not so new, uh, were reminded just how treacherous the Obsidian Mountain Raceway is. Winding down the side of a volcanic mountain 3,000 feet above the sea, it will test their skill and test their nerves and be very unforgiving if they make the slightest mistake. Let's get into these rules real quick. 24 drivers have been randomly paired with their car, and they will drive in this event for 6 rounds and 4 heats per each round. Drivers will be rotated randomly into new groups following each round. The points leader from each round from the 6 groups will have pole position in the next round. Drivers with the most points at the end of the 6 rounds will be the Euro-Mania champion. Our point system works like this: first place 10 points, second place 8, third place 6, fourth place 4, and 0, the big goose egg for any DNFs. Here's a look at our groups. Group 1, we got DRR from Team Akina Speedsters in that BMW i8. We got Patty Cakes Hot Wheels from Team Norm and Vern Racing in that Porsche Cayman. Coolcast in the Lamborghini Huracan, and Hakari Rin in the McLaren F1 GTR. We got Clutch leading Group 2 in that Aston Martin Vulcan, Q Boyd in the Bugatti, the Flying Fenman in the Renault, and Danielson's driving that McLaren F1. Group 3, we have Sharky leading the way for Team Vulcan Raceway in the Alpine A110. Bo Jiden in that McLaren Speedtail V-Man taking in that Porsche 911 GT2. And Casto in the Lamborghini Scion. Group 4, we got Princess Sparkle in that McLaren P1 from Team Raven Customs leading them out. Keldon Raven in that 2020 Jaguar F-Type. We got Numbskull in the Koenigsegg Gemera. And we got D-Stand in that Aston Martin 177. Group 5, we got Kane Stewart leading them out for Team Integrated Racing Sciences in that Lamborghini Gallardo, a red version. Terranos in that 08 Lotus, Death is Art in the Lotus Avija, and Zelda in that Lamborghini Gallardo, our black and gold version. And our final group, Group 6, is going to be led out by Crazy Chris from Team Collectaholic in that 94 Bugatti EB10, followed up by Dana Bishop in the Lotus Sport Elise. Pops is driving the Alfa Romero BC Competición, and Puff from Team Puffs Racing in that Porsche 911 Carrera 4S. Let's get to some racing. Here we go. Group 1 being led out by DRR in that BMW. And they're off, and he takes a strong lead going into that first 180 and down the pipeline. Everybody looking clean. Oh, they're coming. Cayman just got sideways. And the BMW DRR just smacked my Nissan and did not cross the finish line. Came off the track well before that finish line. But you're going to owe me some paint. Yeah, smacked my Nissan. All right. Here we go. The Cayman's going to take the pole position. Heat 2, and we're down the main straight into that pipeline. The Cayman's got a good, strong lead right now. Challenged, well, not so challenged by the BMW. Was about to get challenged by that BMW, but DRR decided to test our safety features, and he says, no, you need one over here. Well, that's not going to cover the paint job on my Nissan. So get back on the track, mister. Here we go. Heat 3. And the McLaren GTR, Hikari Ren's taking that pole position, but the Cayman's coming out strong. Wow! Just got wrapped into that truck off to the side of the track up there on the pipeline. The McLaren spins around, comes in backwards to finish, followed up by the Huracan. But wow, what a smack. Watch, he hits the logging truck, flips, spins, and grinds through Calamity Corner. Nasty, nasty, and caught up the BMW in the process. All right, here we go. The Huracan's got the pole position. Let's see if he can make something of it, and he does, taking the lead down through Calamity Corner. And they all come through clean. Well, I gotta stop saying clean, I guess, is a bad word for this racetrack. We had 2 cars come off, and now the Cayman Patty Cakes has added more damage to my Nissan. Thank you very much. Okay, it's well off the track, drivers. Okay, no need to go that far to be smacking up my cars. Here we go into Group 2. And we got Clutch from Team Big Bomb Diecast and that Aston Martin Vulcan leading them out. But the Renault takes the lead, but the Vulcan takes it back, throws on a block, but the Renault says, nope, that's not enough. Get out of my way. And we got a little smack there from the McLaren into that Renault to get them both over the finish line. And the Bugatti Q Boyd failed to finish, but he's taking the pole position for Heat 2, and here we go, taking a strong lead from that pole position down the pipeline into Calamity Corner. And the McLaren got a little sideways back there, but doesn't hold anybody up. That Vulcan just came off the line. Let's see if he actually had any tires on the track, and yeah, looks like his rear wheels just hung on long enough, and he is going to actually tie with that McLaren for second place. They both hit that finish line at the same time. McLaren's got the pole position for this one, driven by Danielson, and leading them down the pipeline. Gets a little sideways, holding everybody up, slows the whole pack down. The Renault sneaks around, taking first place away from everybody. And wow, what a finish. Nice driving by the McLaren. Or the Renault, I'm sorry, nice driving by Flying Fenman in that Renault, who now has a pole position. Could close this group out strong, but the McLaren is challenging, and Flying Fenman was putting on a little taunt there, I believe, and that Renault spinning around backwards through Calamity Corner all the way down Summit Memorial Road and to the finish. And yes, does close that group out with the lead, so he'll get pole position in round 3 in whatever group he comes out in. Here we go, group 3. Sharky leads them out in the Alpine 110. Challenged by the Speedtail, but the Speedtail spins out and everybody gets past him. And we got Sharky just doing a Tony Hawk grind across the finish line. And then we have your Lamborghini Scion and that Porsche GT finishing. Now V-Man in the Porsche GT has that lead, and he's coming down into the pipeline, gets spun around, does a complete 360, but hangs on to the lead. Everybody else getting slowed up by the Alpine and come to a stop and do not finish. Triple DNF for that lot. Bad form on the Alpine. Alright, Scion's taking the lead down the main straight into the pipeline, driven by Casto, and gets across the finish line. The other two stalled out. The Speedtail did make it down, but the Porsche and the Alpine failed to get to that last corner. We got the Speedtail now leading them down into the pipeline, followed by the Lamborghini Scion. Gets a little sideways, but then gets a push by the Alpine, and the Speedtail just blew a first place finish. Right before the finish line, that last wheel came off the track right there, and that is not crossing the finish line with the tire on the track. So the Scion's going to take that lead and take the lead in the group, winning pole position for round 3. And our channel break shout out is going to go to BEAVERWORX Diecast Racing, home of the Igloo Proving Grounds. They got 4 tracks there to test the cars and drivers. Igloo Main Track, the Pebble Path, the Stone Road, and the Rock Jump. Lots and lots of great stuff happening over there at BEAVERWORX. I'm going to put the link in the description of this video, so make sure you go over there, check them out. Give them some likes, comments, share, and if you haven't, hit their subscribe button. This is an Obsidian Mountain Raceway production, sponsored by GryphonSoul Diecast Motorsports and Tommy's Tacos and Kelp Burgers. They can't kelp but be good, so go get you some. Here we go, back to the action, and Group 4. Led off by Princess Sparkle, Team Raven Customs in the McLaren P1, side by side with Keldon in that 2020 Jaguar, and we got pushing and shoving going on down here. P1 is going to come in first, followed by the Jaguar. The Aston Martin 177 got curbed, we'll say, gently curbed. Alright, we got the Gamera driven by Numbskull taking the pole position. And he's going to lead him down into the pipeline through Calamity Corner, looking good. Princess Sparkles got sideways there and curbed herself in that last corner. And I'm not quite sure if that Aston Martin made it across. The judges are saying yes. Managed to keep those 2 left tires on the track just before coming off. And the Aston Martin had the lead, but the Gamera pushed its way past. And now, wow, what a nice move by the Jaguar driver, Keldon Raven. We're going to get another look at this. Now he's coming down in second place behind the pole position and tried to get second right there, failed to get it. The Gamera pushes past the the Aston Martin and flips it over, but right there the Jaguar Keldon was waiting for that McLaren to straighten out that Gamera, and he snuck right by, stole first place. Awesome move. Alright, we got the Jaguar up front. Let's see what he can do from the pole position. And he's being pushed by the Aston Martin. And the Aston Martin is over again. The P1's coming down, going to take second place. And the Chimera is rolling, and does finish. Just barely gets that bumper over that finish line. It's a good job. All right, and the Jaguar coming out strong for this group, and going to get pole position in round 3 for whatever group he ends up in. But that's a good showing compared to what it did in group 1. All right, here we go. Kane Stewart's leading them out in that Lamborghini Gallardo, the red version, leading them down the pipeline through Calamity Corner. The Evija spins around, does a 180, but everybody finished except for the Lamborghini driven by Zelda. I don't know why they decided to hit the brakes right there. Maybe they saw a squirrel. The Evija's taking the lead through the first corner down the pipeline, followed by the black Lamborghini. And we got some smashing going on there, but everybody did finish. So the Evija takes first, and the Lotus 08 takes second for that last heat. And we're back again, going through that pipeline down into Calamity Corner. The Lamborghini's leading the way, followed by the Evija and the Lotus 08, and then the Lamborghini Gallardo red version driven by Kane Stewart comes in last. And here we go, heat 4. We got the 08 Lotus driven by Terranos, taking them down the pipeline, leading the way. The Gallardo, black Gallardo, gets sideways and hells up the Evija, and so the red Lamborghini driven by Kane Stewart takes in second. And well, at least the crash barriers are working, right? Nobody went over the cliff there anyways. And the 08 Lotus driven by Terranos is going to lead that group out and get pole position for round 3. Here we go, our final group. Group 6, round 2. Led out by Crazy Chris, a Team Collectorholic in that yellow Bugatti. The Lotus spins out but gets turned back around right way, and the Bugatti comes off the track right. Is this like a fetish for you drivers coming off before the finish line? I don't know. But that's a goose egg. No points for the Bugatti. And we got the Alfa Romero in pole position, leading them down to, well, he was, but then the Bugatti came out and said, nope, I got to get my 10 points back. And he's going to take that win, followed not by the Alfa Romero. The Alfa Romero decided to do a sidetrack, and the Lotus Elise failed to finish, and so we got just the Porsche Carrera driven by Puff that came in second there, and now has the pole position, but the Alfa Romero gets in front, wipes out, takes out Puff, and so the only 2 finishers are the Lamborghini, or I'm sorry, the Bugatti and the Lotus Sport Elise. Ouch for Puff on that one. All right, here we go. The Lotus Elise leading them down the pipeline. We got another big crowd. Wow, we're going to have to take another look at that. The Lotus Elise did take in first, followed by the Bugatti, and the Alfa Romero managed to get down there for third. And there's Puff pulled over there at the exit. Wow, smacked into the, straight on into that barrier. Pow, pow, pow. Got the Alfa Romero spun around, but it straightened out in time to get down there for third place. And we got a tie for this group. Who's going to get pole position for round 3 between Dana Bishop and Crazy Chris? Don't go away, because I'm going to have that tiebreaker race coming up for you right after we check out these scores. Now, here's where the drivers left off last round, and here's where they are now. So we got Crazy Chris and Princess Sparkles both tied at 60 for the points leaders right now. And we got a few drivers at 58 and then 56 and on down from there. But everybody getting some good points. Still 4 rounds to go. Just real quickly before we get into this tiebreaker, I'd like to thank all my subscribers, all diecast racing fans, and the community. Please give me, trip over my tongue. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share these videos. Here we go. Round 2 tiebreaker between Crazy Chris and Dana Bishop. The Bugatti's getting the pole position. First time out, he won the coin toss. And he's going to lead down through the pipeline and Calamity Corner and into that final straight and takes that first win. So first win goes to Crazy Chris and the Bugatti ED110. Dana Bishop in that Sport Elise is in the pole position this time going down. She will lead the way through Calamity Corner. Got a little sideways and slowed both the drivers up. Chris tried a last minute pass there, but not enough track to do it. Another 10 feet maybe. Probably would have got that. All right, back in their original starting positions. The winner of this one's going to get the pole position. The Lotus Elise spins out, so that's the end of Dana's chances, and the Bugatti, driven by Crazy Chris, wins the tiebreaker and will have pole position for whatever group he winds up in for round 3. This is the Euro-Mania, and Mania it is. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the races. Round 3 will be coming up at the end of the week, barring anything else getting in the way. But please, once again, like, share, comment, and if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. Keep your roof to the sun. And until the next race, aloha and mahalo.